So we're going to be looking at the best wingers in FC25. There is a lot of options plus a lot of Evos to come, as we know. Unfortunately, I can't put all the Evos in here because there is just far too many. It's the biggest thing with the game right now is that evolutions have taken over. Some of the cards are better than like 90% of the cards. It doesn't take from the top meta, obviously, but in general, Evos are doing really well this year. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. So if we was to look at what we've got in front of us and kind of go with the flow of it, we are looking at the likes of Adama, who more than likely will get an Evo at some point. One of the best free cards that we saw from this year in the very first season is finally going to get an upgrade at some point. With Evos now maxing to 88, maybe even an 89 on a handful of them, and allowing a double playstyle plus, it is only a matter of time for him. I think Garnacho would be the same as well. I don't believe he's going to get anything anywhere else, to be honest. At this point, United are just in the absolute mud of all mud. It is lucky that the teams below us are... To be honest, I wouldn't even say that worse off, to be honest, but I feel like there isn't a chance of relegation. I say that now, I know full well, but this is going to be the best way that you're going to get a better Garnacho, is waiting for an Evo for him. He needs something more, and to be honest, if it doesn't give him a double, he needs something substantial as such. We then have the likes of Doku, who's kind of the same as well. You could probably still get away with him with the Rapid, but realistically, with the cards that are coming after this as well, there is so many wingers. Like, this is just the 89s to 90s. There was literally, I think these were on like page 6 of all wingers in the game. Now, some of them are more strikers and can play both. Henry, Mbappe, I wouldn't class them as wing, but they can play it. But there is so many. Like, there is rows of wingers here above this 89, which is just incredible in themselves. Some of them you'd probably miss. Like, realistically, when we look at somebody like Grealish, realistically, are you going to Evo him? Now, obviously, if you are a Man City fan, if you're building a Man City past and present, you might have Doku as the kind of option first and then Grealish, but realistically, you only need one of the wingers. He would be more of a miss, to be honest, until he gets another card. Whether he gets anything until footies, I doubt the team of the season's going to be anything. Maybe an SBC, a random one. It could be in fantasy or anything like that. But realistically, he would be one that I would probably miss out on. We then do have Dembele, who I do think is a wonderful card in himself. Here we got a lovely Player of the Month as well. So we've got the Player of the Month coming in at 344, and we've got the Globetrotters coming in at 365. Now, obviously, Player of the Months now going forward from Zambo, the CDM in the Serie A. You obviously have double playstyle pluses on every single one. So Dembele, Kluivert, and also Zambo also had a double playstyle, which is absolutely lovely, and Wirtz as well. So you've got the argument that he's got rapid rather than the quick step on the Globetrotters, and you've got the whipped pass, so you can't add another Evo. He's going to be fantastic on both cards to start with. He could do with the Evo to kind of really ramp up his stats as quick as possible, but realistically, he was already going to be an incredible winger anyway. He's already got the 5-5, already got incredible pace. You could have put his 86 up for the Team of the Year blueprint, meaning you could have put him into like, what, a 94, I think it was, but he was extinct everywhere. So I do think when you're looking at Dembele, he's in... to be honest, I would say very usable, just purely on the actual dribbling aspect of him. The pace, the dribbling, the 5-star, 5-star. He's always been a very, very good winger in my opinion, but he does need the upgrade to keep him up with some of these 91s and 92s that we are getting. Especially when we are looking at the likes of going a bit further down and we're seeing like a 92 Diallo. We're obviously got Barcola, Bale, all of the Team of the Years, there's a lot of shouts going in there. When we look at Caicedo, solid card. I didn't even know if that is... is it Moises Caicedo, his sister, I might say. But 175, quick step, technical. It's okay. It's a nice upgrade. You obviously had her player of the month as well. It's one of them cards that I think is very quick down the wing. But I do think when we look at the in-game stuff, it's not as impressive as someone like Dembele. We then look at Coman. I would say more of an Evo. He's kind of very similar to... Did we have Sane in here as well? Sane's got to be somewhere. He'll be in here somewhere, I think. There he is. 89 version of him. They both are very good wingers in themselves, but now need that extra double. We're getting into the point where double playstyle pluses are becoming everything, unless you are in that 91 and above category where your stats are very much at the top. Because realistically, when we look at the top of the top, you're looking at all of these Team of the Years. Like, if we put them up so I can get them in there, they've done incredibly well with the Team of the Year this year. All of them are incredible, as you'd imagine. My personal favourite on the right hand side would be Hansen, and the left hand side is obviously going to be Vinny. But the Hansen and Vinny combination is outrageously good. They've obviously got the triple in comparison to last year where they had the double and then they obviously got caught up quite quickly. I think they've changed that this year because now they know that they want the Team of the Year to last until at least Team of the Season, whereas even though they did last in terms of how good they were, it still wasn't enough. By the time we got to Team of the Season, cards were always just getting closer and closer. When we look at some of the cards we've got now, even some of the icons, some of the top players from the Future Stars promo, from the Grassroots promo, they are getting to the point where they are absolutely at the top of their game. They're just not near that Team of the Year because they've given them the triple. It's a very nice stat upgrade and all of them are incredible. When I looked at James to begin with, I thought the 96 looks nice, but how good is she? Same as Reeton, very packable compared to a lot of the Team of the Year. I've saw her the most out of anybody, to be honest, but James, especially the one I got, incredible. Like, genuinely, the dribbling prowess of her is outrageous. We've obviously had to use the loans of the other three because I haven't got any of them there. They are way above the price range. Like, Vinny is coming in at... Let's have a look. Can we get the promos here? We've obviously got the Women's Team of the Year. We got Hansen coming in at 4.3, James at 9.43, and then Reeton at 1.6, which, to be honest, with her being one of the ones I'd consider the most packed compared to what I've seen of Team of the Years. Obviously, Vinny's coming in at 9 mil, and Salah, I'm pretty sure, was about 3.2, give or take. Now, all of them are incredible, so that is kind of the benchmark for them. There is some players that kind of keep themselves at that top, but there's a lot that are just underneath, in my opinion. We obviously have Kvaratskhelia. He would come under an Evo now, in my opinion. Diaz, I think with Diaz, you could either wait for a new upgrade for him. I feel like he's due. I can imagine something like a fantasy or something based around an in-game performance. Something like a road to the final if they were doing something like that for the promo. But I can see him getting into that level. Whether we see Nunez, because what you got to think with Liverpool is they are absolutely on fire. All of these kind of promos that are based around performances are going to be fantastic for any Liverpool player because they're going to be one of the main ones going in there. And when you look at the players that we've got, you think about it like this, like Virgil and Salah don't need one. We've just got a McAllister. Konate's been relatively recent. It's never going to be a keeper. We then have a bit further down, we've obviously got Gravenberch as a FC Pro, so again, not necessarily going to be him. Szoboszlai's just got another road to the final. Jota's got himself a was it a flashback or a moments? Flashback, I want to say. And then you go a bit further down. We then see Nunez as a Centurion and Diaz as obviously a Trailblazer. So realistically, he's got to be next. It's going to be Trent, Diaz or Nunez. And then bar from that, you've got Chiesa, maybe a Robertson, but he got a moments. Other than that, that's going to be the ones that you're looking at. So realistically, if there is another road to the final, if there is a fantasy that does contain a Liverpool player, he's got a great shout on it. So whether you Evo him or wait for that upgrade, it's up to you entirely. We obviously have got Ginola. I like Ginola this year, but I don't think he's as good as like 2-3 years ago. He's obviously coming in at 2 mil. We are apparently getting either it's either a new Ginola SBC for the Fantasy, or it's going to be like this one as an SBC, like backdated. But it was, I don't know if they have it on here, it's this, FIFA 22, that 98 Ginola, just in general, this version of him, but that one specifically, that was probably the most meta I've ever seen Ginola. We obviously love his footies versions, they're always incredible, but that version of Ginola, FIFA 22, was just prime, absolutely prime. Ginola was absolutely in form. This year I like him, but I do think they've got a very good spread of just players in general. There's so many top end players that are just very, very good. So there is a lot that you can go with there. We obviously have got the likes of Diaby. I feel like he's still usable. He's not necessarily going to get another playstyle, but he's still usable to some extent. But he kind of does need an upgrade soon. I think the main reason why you look at a lot of these, they've got the single playstyle plus, so an upgrade would be better for them. Love Gittins, absolutely brilliant. I think he is fantastic. If you've used him, the wing play on him is outrageous. We have Inaki Williams, obviously coming in from your season. I think he could do with an upgrade. Again, he's very much like Diaby. He's usable, but I could do with a double playstyle plus for him. So we'll keep him there, but I do think an Evo would suit him out absolutely brilliantly. Figo, I thought was okay at best. I didn't really like him that much. I thought he was just a nice upgraded card. Mahrez, very similar, to be honest. I thought like he was good on his dribbling side. He's very nice as somebody with the ball. But realistically, he's only going to be used in a Saudi team. That's kind of going to be it, really. Love the background as well. Obviously, the green kit works magnificently with it. Malin, very similar. You can use him as a super sub, but could do with the Evo. McManaman needs an Evo, definitely. Nani, as a 90 kind of flashback or end of era, needs the Evo, as we knew that Nani would need. Obviously, he had a very good card, a nice upgraded card, but eventually he would fall below the waistline of a lot of these. We obviously have got Nico as well, very similar to his brother. To be fair, he could do with the upgrade, but he's still good down the wing. Love Elise. I thought this was a wonderful upgrade, one of the better right mids we've seen from obviously the Bayern lot, obviously with Sane and Coman in there. Pedro Neto, I think he was brilliant when he first came out. He could do with the upgrade, but I mean, you could say that about everybody that's 89 and below. They are eventually going to get into them Evos. I think he's still usable in a lot of sense, to be fair. Whether he kind of gets into that very usable, I feel like he possibly could, but then the arguments kind of open up. It's like, with the top meta, they are the best of the best, obviously. They're going to be coming in at the price tag that is outrageous, whereas then you've got the very usable and usable. They're still good players. I'm not saying that these are by any means terrible. They are just underneath, in my opinion, what we're seeing. Rafinha I'd probably miss out on now. If you did the Team of the Year blueprint with his base, would have been fantastic, but a little bit less in my opinion. Rodrigo, love the card, but we knew this was going to happen with him. I think you could potentially go very usable, but I think he could do with the Evo. He could do with that double play style plus now at this point. He's been given a long time to be able to be played with as well. So it's not as if this card has just come out and he still needs the upgrade. He's most definitely been in circulation for a while. Rodgers, Saka is usable again, but could do with the Evo. Love Salma. I think she's outrageous on the ball. If you've used any version of her, I know she's had a lot of potential for a lot of Evos that you could have done, rather than going for the honourable mentions. But even this one is just brilliant in itself. Sancho, usable. Love Son, absolutely brilliant. Williams, with obviously the 99 pace coming in as the feature. I think she could do with the upgrade straight away, but to be fair, whether you just miss her completely, because realistically, if you've got 1, 2 or even 3 Evos, you've only got 3 to pick, so it depends on who you're kind of going for here. Yildiz, I personally prefer the striker version, but I still think he's at least semi-decent along the line, really. Which then leaves us with a lot of the better cards, like Ronaldinho is obviously got to go into the top. We obviously put the Vinny in there. We've also got the other Hansen. They are just incredible wingers in themselves. Ronaldinho I do love, but I think the base version is slowly coming down a little bit. We obviously then have the likes of Ribery and Garrincha and Yamal. Yamal's a cracking upgrade. He obviously got himself into the Future Star. And the funny thing is, with the Team of the Year blueprint, the show of how good that card is in comparison is obviously the fact that you've got this version. I want to say I used my 84. I don't know if it's even going to give me it. This is the version that I've got now. And the difference in stats, quite literally, like you've got your rapid, your finesse, and your first touch versus technical and Travella. But even then, like you look at the stats, it's not necessarily a great deal more. Yes, a little bit more pace, but 5. Passing I'm okay with. Shooting's only a 2. Dribbling's only a 2. And yet, you paid 500k for that one, or 2.8 mil for this one. It's a crazy, crazy card. I absolutely love the Yamal card on this one, and the Team of the Year blueprint is incredible in itself as well. If you've used Ribery, outrageously good as well. Messi comes in as the top, obviously. I think that's quite an easy one. Garrincha's going to go there. I don't personally like Foden as a right wing. I do prefer him as a cam, but I have had on good authority from many of the SBC tier lists that he is one of the better players for people's opinions. So I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. Obviously, Rashford goes up here. I think Barcola is another one that comes in from the Future Stars incredibly well. A very, very well-rounded card and a very, very good card as well. 1.8 mil, rapid with a finesse. It's always going to be fantastic. And to be honest, past there, I think most of them will go in that top category. Like, we are due a Neymar at some point. He obviously got himself in the winter wildcards with 1 million and 2.2. Both very good cards in themselves. But realistically, other than maybe Diani needing a bit of an upgrade, but as a 92, she's still very usable in this game. We've got pretty much all of them. I'd say Bale can put himself in that top category. Neymar's probably there, but I mean, he needs the upgrade. So I would probably go with, to be fair, Rivaldo's probably there as well. I'd probably go the rest of them up here in the absolute top. Obviously, Smith as a striker, incredible. We've obviously picked her right wing version, which was good. I do like her more as the striker. And Jarzinho's incredible in himself, but still could do with the upgrade. And that's going to be all the wingers. I think you could argue maybe with the Evos and the miss, maybe we miss out on Williams and potentially just go with all of these. Maybe even you miss out on Kvaratskhelia. I don't think he's got that same prowess as I'd probably say Adama's going to be a fan favourite. You might even miss out on the Garnacho and thinking a 90 is going to take a while to upgrade. And then you kind of look at Doku being a fan favourite. Coman and Sane, obviously with Elise now, you probably look at both of them because they both can play left mid. You could even miss out on the Diaz. Obviously the 99 pace for McManaman is always nice. He's got the quick step as well. Nani being, again, a nostalgic vibe. And then maybe some of the usable, you might go up and down on a couple of them. But that's going to be the list for today. Let me know if you agree or if you'd move somebody.